Hey there. What the wind just started picking up. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me because I forgot there's tree trimmers out here. But I was talking about, dramatic people and the whole changing the story and things like that. But it's very important because I do understand that there are certain types of things that people do that can be very much still within the dramatic uh, realm, right? So we'll talk about that because it's very important to understand that your suggestion to isolate that person, to never believe them, and things like that, that's what causes that pattern. They are responding like in a to get you to hear them. They're responding in a childlike manner. They have like childlike what's the word, childlike strategies because they don't have uh, adult coping skills. Like they don't understand how to get people to listen. They're trying to get like a child need met, right? This is a need from childhood. So when someone starts embellishing and they start becoming like more dramatic and they start to go into a path of lying, it's either going to come from a place of a place where they already weren't getting attention, and so they've grown up doing this to try to get that attention. Taking the attention away is not going to fix that. It really doesn't matter if they actually are dramatic. Taking the attention away is not going to solve the problem. Being direct about it will. You know what I'm saying? There's a child out here that does that. He's very young though, but he already does it. He does it very often. A lot of embellishment, and he's only like 7. You know what I'm saying? It starts at a young age. So if they're an adult and they're doing that stuff, it's like the guys. The guys. I'm using men as an example today, but I mean women do it too. The guys that be like, yeah, bruh, I, right? This started in childhood. That is how they got their parents' attention. It is attention seeking when it is embellishment. I use the term like this, but I mean that's really what it is, though, right? So you have people who end up fitting. You end up putting people in that box of embellisher, because you have that unrealistic expectation for them to always tell the same story all the time. But then when you get an actual embellisher and you get someone who does do that, because of course everything is a spectrum, right? But the problem is that you try to put all these people in the same box. That's the first problem. The second problem is when you do actually get someone who really is like that, it's not going to solve the problem. The only thing that's going to solve the problem is being direct with that person and actually giving them the attention. But so it's like a child, right? If my child continues to do a negative behavior because it gets some attention, you change how you direct that attention, right? So if my child likes to kick the door, ignoring it is never going to stop it. Like yelling at them is not going to stop it either, especially if they were deprived, okay? Because all attention, whether good or bad, is good attention to a child, right? So that child will continue to do negative things because you're giving into the attention. So indulging with them in the it comes down to being an adult and being direct. If you think that you're emotionally mature, and you think you've caught someone in embellishment, indulging in it, and oh my God, are you serious? Did that really happen? That's going to keep them doing it. That's going to feed it because it's the attention, right? But ignoring them is not going to solve it at all. It's not going to fix it. They are not going to get being direct, telling them, hey, this you cannot do, but let's redirect and let's show you what you can do. You know, you can reparent people without putting in much effort. You can allow them to know that their behavior is unacceptable. Okay? You can let them know that. That is far better than isolating them. It does not matter which end of the spectrum they're on, if they're an embellisher or if they're someone who is just someone who isn't getting a lot of play and being able to tell their story. And the scenario I gave last night. The scenario I gave last night, you put those same people in the same category as embellishers, and now you're allowing both ends of that spectrum to remain in abusive situations because you don't want to be an adult. You're actually not any more emotionally stable than these people if you can't be direct with them. Hey, you know, you talked to so-and-so the other day and you said this was different. Oh yeah, well, it's only because I was talking to them for 20 minutes and they kept interrupting me. Direct. So now you get the story and it's the truth. But with the embellisher, like, they might be taken aback by that, but they might actually respect you. You're like, look, you told me that you did X, Y, and Z and this was wrong. I don't agree with that, and I cannot deal with you if you're not lying. They may take offense to that, but at the very least, you are not the one isolating them. And the more people, if we were all doing that to that person, like, yo, I really like hanging out with you, but I can't take this lying, bro. The more that it happens to them, they are forced to take accountability, and they're like either be alone or instead. When we ignore them or we isolate them, it does not send any signals that that it's incorrect. They'll just be sitting there like, why doesn't anybody like me? Because they're not aware. Self-awareness can only be attacked by awareness. You have to give them awareness. So if a whole bunch of people were to act the same, look. On this phone, shit went off. On this phone, shit went off. We were on the bus earlier, so our sounds are off, but stuff is going off. You have to trigger that self-awareness. So if you are in a group of 5 people, and all 5 of those people are sane though, okay? We're not gaslighting this person. We're not doing anything. We just want that person to be aware that their behavior is incorrect. You would each, and not at the same time, but you each, hey, you just told me that story. You just told me that story, and this detail is different. If you're lying to me, I really don't appreciate being lied to because it's like an insult to my intelligence. And you all at some point tell them that, and then they continue to behave that way. Then when you disappear, they know why you disappeared, because they know, like, to some, it's not. Embellishment is a little bit different than full-on lying, but so is, it's still all forms of lying. Embellishment, you have, omitting the truth, and you have, like, just flat-out lying, but then you also have something a little more pathological, you know what I'm saying? Embellishment is, like, right in between, like, it's slightly pathological, and sometimes it's just because they've been neglected so long, and that is what got their parents' attention. That's, you know what I'm saying? And as long as you continue to feed it, they just keep going. They just keep going. And if you don't feed it, they never know. Like, this goes back to a meme, okay? The meme is always like, they knew what they did, so I just left without saying anything. And I'm real big on no ghosting, okay? I'm real big on letting you know what you did, okay? Now, the problem with that is enough people are not telling people what they did. You find it okay to not communicate what people did at all, so they have like this, they get into this, well, just nobody likes me. I don't know why they don't like me. I don't have nothing to change. Okay, like they don't get the message because nobody is confronting them, or I'll be back. Oh wait, Well, it's just a text. Oh, it's just a text. Never mind. Never mind. She must not realize it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. But look, I want y'all to think about that. I will be back here in a little bit after my phone call. Okay. You have to trigger self-awareness. And they do not get that if you just isolate them. They do not get that if you indulge them. You have to be direct. You have to be an adult. You know what I'm saying? Embellishment would be on one side of the spectrum, and then the other side of the spectrum is the lesson I gave last night. But either way, the solutions for it are very, they lack emotional intelligence. Okay, goodbye.